Veterans and patriots, I sit here on the eve of the 4th of July, 2023, with some sobering yet encouraging news. Sobering because our own government stands against us with every law and action. Encouraging because the movement for liberty is finally waking up, and not just in the US, but across the world. Our hijacked government got the first punch in. Hell, they got a few in. But they went too hard and they went too fast. And most of all, they pompously underestimated America's tenacity for free will and unfettered liberty. Now, of course, there's still the mind-numb sheep walking around, mouth-breathing, through their mask, staring at their phones and doing everything they're told. But the vast majority of America now understands that everything we've been sold by the Biden-Obama socialist syndicate runs diametrically opposed for you, your children, and your country's well-being. And the vast majority of Americans are fed up. The one thing I'm blessed with in life is the opportunity to live and work around veterans virtually every day. And I can tell you one thing for certain. Most every veteran I talk to has had it with the erosion of their constitutional rights. We're tired of fighting these made-up wars, seeing our brothers and sisters killed. We signed up to fight against evil. We are the courageous ones who looked at Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, ISIS, and countless others in the eyes down a gun barrel while the other beta cowards stayed back in their press suits and their fancy dresses, waiting for us to come home so they could attack us with the very system we defended. Yet they hijacked that system. They replaced liberty, order, and justice with tyranny. They replaced it with a pay-to-play legal system that thrives on extortion and legal racketeering. Racketeering's only okay when they do it. Smiling to our face, knowing they wouldn't survive in the wild for more than 10 seconds with us. But the damn shame for them is this pretty little system is crumbling. Virtually every major city in America has failed or is failing. Crime is running rampant, and it's only a matter of time before actual patriots stand up and they say enough is enough. We've had it. We're tired of being told that we're the problem when we're the ones who built this freaking country. They won't be able to hide behind their little tailored suits for much longer. We realize that the system no longer represents us, only those in power. And that's exactly why they attack us at every turn. They force their vaccines on us in order to participate in society. They censor us for speaking the truth. They seek every possible way to take the very thing that we know how to use to fight for freedom away from us, our Second Amendment. At every turn, they're waiting to take our guns. We stood by when they attacked the Oath Keepers and the 3%ers and everybody else, calling them terrorists and using the Patriot Act. You know, how ironic they use that against our own citizens and veterans and those who stand up for the basic liberties and basic constitutional precepts and ideas that this country was founded upon. Wild, isn't it? You know, we're told that we're conspiracy theorists, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out that, you know, just use the Whitmer kidnapping case, for instance. It was all a farce. You know, you had more federal agents that were part of that whole sting operation, and January 6th, led by the freaking FBI, admitted on tape, as we've now seen, than actual people comprised of the extremist group in the Whitmer case. You know, so where is that fine line between, you know, committing an actual crime and just pure governmental entrapment? You know, when they're pushed to do something by government agents, and then a few of the idiots actually do it, and then they try to throw a whole blanket over the entire movement, and you know, because anything against them is the resistance, and that's what they're trying to suffocate. And then they label us all, you know, patriot extremists. That's exactly what they're doing. It's actually kind of smart. But now we see the writing on the walls. We know their tactics, and enough is enough. We stood by while an 80-year-old geriatric patient had 50 people at his rallies and magically surpassed a sitting president that had the most popular votes in American history. While they told us that no ID was required to vote, they allowed millions of undocumented immigrants into the country and then allowed them to vote and take part in the election. And then we were ensured that the digital voting machines would produce a free and fair election. The same BS result, same BS elections that we watched our government conduct in Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine, Libya, so on and so on and so on, right down the freaking line. Just keep the veil over your eyes and pretend that none of it makes sense, veterans. We stood by as they called us conspiracy theorists for pointing out that the Epstein and the CIA deep state operated a massive human trafficking and pedophilia ring to blackmail and extort businessmen and politicians into compliance. And when it all fell down and was exposed, we were fed a few BS stories and told to move on, go argue on Facebook about, sexual preference or race or something like that, while we stand up here and just pull the puppet strings. We stand by right now as our children are being plucked right off the streets before our eyes. The stuff I've seen, guys, you wouldn't be able to hold down your food for days, much less sleep at night. But yet we're told it's a problem and, it's not a problem. Don't worry, the police will handle it. While more and more and more of our pictures of young kids dot the walls of our hometowns. You have no idea how many parents across America helplessly call an impotent police force who would rather hide on the side of the road and write traffic tickets as you go to work than actually defend citizens from real crime. Wake up and look at our life, veterans. As the fireworks go up and burst into flames tomorrow, look at how your freedoms have done the same thing in just a short period of time. Remember those who fought next to us, who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and ask yourselves if this is what they fought for. I'm betting it's not. Remember that no one wanted to listen to us after World War I until we stood up and made our power felt. Remember that they asked us to fight in a global war on terrorism. For the last 20 years, that we actually know how to fight. We understand strength, duty, and respect. Remember that respect is earned. While many may smile to your face and pretend to play your game, we see you for what you are. We don't respect you. Not at all. Injustice will be ours. America is ours. Freedom is our natural, God-given gift that no man grants. It's something we earn with every blood, sweat, and tear of honest patriots. It's something patriots fought for to forge this great country, and the tree of liberty needs watering. And keep in mind, that's not like some extremist rhetoric or some other BS that they brainwashed you into believing. That's words from our very own president, Jefferson. And he knew a thing about tyranny versus liberty. Just read into it. So veterans, don't stand on the sidelines and watch it all tumble down. The $31 trillion in debt, the sanctioned racketeering of our tax money to foreign countries that magically disappears while our children get groomed and our brothers and sisters lay in the streets homeless. Don't take the poisonous SSRIs they want to feed you at the VA. Don't go to a cashless stadium tomorrow and watch a fake ball game and get dumbed down by alcohol while you call yourself a patriot because you stood by the national anthem and everybody clapped. Don't sit around and gripe about these issues but do nothing to solve them. Don't send money to these old men veteran groups who don't do crap to actually stand up and represent us. They get nothing done. They're just like our politicians. GWAT babies, we were forged in the fire of war, and it's all we know, and we're damn good at it. Stand up and fight for human trafficking. Stand up and fight for this craphole judicial system that's trying to keep us in chains. Stand up to the joke of a two-party system that does nothing to represent our actual interest as Americans. Stand up to socialism. Stand up and don't engage in the cashless society. Actually look at the 70 different vaccines a nice little doctor wants to inject into your children, and look at what they're doing to people all across the world. The rise of all these problems we've never really heard about until these vaccines were mandated and put on the schedule. Now suddenly we have all these problems we never had 50 years ago. Don't eat the GMO fat that they feed swine with, all the while laughing at the bank. Band together and make a change. Look evil in the eye and F it up. And remember that God is the only person that you answer to, veterans. Happy 4th of July.